Hello everyone, I'm Kibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where things have changed. Because I have moved our fuel power plant to the other side of the world, to the Gold Coast here. Because update 6 is coming along and it's gonna ruin the location over here. But that wasn't the only reason for the move. In fact, it's all in order to fix the nuclear power plant. So we'll get to that soon, but first, there's news about update 6. And if you're excited for it, remember to leave a like. And the latest teaser here is about the new changes to the map that are upcoming, as well as the new functionalities of the radar towers, which up until this point, essentially did nothing. So pretty good news, especially for an exploration update, right? Yeah, first up, the new map. It's bigger, it's better, and more functional than ever. You have actual coordinates on the map, so if you're playing in multiplayer, you can say, I'm at -42 and 69, meet me there. Which is pretty nice, but not as nice as the new markers you can add to the map. So beacons are probably gonna be going away forever, because now you put down a marker and it has all these different customization options. So you could call it home, you could put an arrow here, you could put a symbol here. So you can change the color, change the size, and best thing of all, you can change when they appear on your compass. So if you want it to be like across the entire map, you always want that marker, you can do that. Or if you get into, say, the green fields area, you want to set it to near. So when you're near the marker, it'll appear on your compass and you can kind of direct yourself that way, which is incredible. And then there are also the mini markers, which you can just place on the map, either through the map screen or while you're playing the game. And it sets up this like beacon of light. Finally though, the radar towers. They're getting crazy. So before, they would just reveal a little bit of the map and they cost like a ton of power. But now they're extremely useful with a ton of different functionalities. So as you can see here, they show you what kind of hard drives are in the area, what kind of enemies are in the area, food, slugs, story items, and all that jazz. Easily the most important though, is it shows you where all of the nodes are, along with their purities, which is like, oh my gosh, thank you video game. And if you claim them or not, so you can tell how many resources you have left on the map. But anyway though, that's pretty much everything here. There are a couple other quality of life changes they added in as well for pinging and like clusters and stuff like that. But that's all the main stuff. So tell me what you think in the comments below. So that's some pretty big changes for update 6, eh? I'm pretty excited. Comparing the map to how it is now, like, bruh, it's gonna be so much better. It's gonna be interesting though, not having any more beacons. I love to use the beacons, but fair enough, it makes sense. The new map is just 1,000 times better. Anyway, super looking forward to that and the radar tower stuff, so I don't have to keep pinging for thousands of hours to find out where stuff is, because that gets annoying. Anyway, moving on to today's big projects. Big reason why I wanted to move the fuel power plant over here was because we make rubber, plastic, and packaged fuel for the rest of our world in this location. And we really want a lot of rubber close to the nuclear power plant. Because you see, the main problem with it is a throughput issue. We are not getting enough rubber to the plant fast enough in order to make things run properly. And that's why things get backed up. Specifically though, it's because of heat sinks. Heat sinks have been our problem forever, because they are mission critical to getting our plutonium fuel rods online. But right now the processing chain is ridiculous. So how we make the heat sinks is we have the rubber coming from this factory here. It travels on a train that goes all around the world to this factory down here. And then from here, it turns the rubber into heat sinks, and then the heat sinks come up this way to the nuclear power plant. So we have the products to make the heat sinks go all around the world, and then they finally get here. And because of all that traveling, the throughput time is super, super slow, and things aren't keeping up. And if we're not keeping up making the plutonium, all of the other nuclear material gets overloaded, and we have a problem. And so my solution to this is to localize heat sink production by using the new fuel factory's location, hello friends, and then utilizing this bauxite node to make all of the heat sinks. And we should be good. Keyword being should be. This area is kind of dangerous though. Jeez Louise, we need the power of Christmas spirit. How are there two of them? I I give you the greatest Christmas gift of all. Freedom! There we go. 1 down. 2 down. And the little boyos, well, good night. All right, but this is a pure node of bauxite, so we should be able to turn this into all of the heat sinks we need, just with the 1 node. Of course, we're gonna have to bring a lot of infrastructure up here and probably just turn this into a factory, and it'll help us with future projects as well. See, plans on plans. Plans on plans upon plans. Of course, the first thing we need to do is set up a train station. We're gonna need to bring power over here so we can actually do things, of course. But also, this ties into our big aluminum projects in the near future. See, I wanna have a train that goes from here through like the middle of the map, all the way over to here. So all the way across the map, scooping up all the bauxite in the world and bringing it to where our new aluminum factory will be. So this is kind of the start of that project as well. Oh, and man, this is one of my favorite new features in Update 5, how you can just attach the pillars underneath the train tracks. Dude, it helps out so much. Makes everything look so much better. Look at this. Look at this beautiful angle going into the red forest. You gotta love it. Okay, train track is set up. Train station is kind of set up. And we have the little miner set up. So we are good to kind of go. Of course, we have to get the bauxite, but first, let's see where we're going with all of this. Like, what are we getting ourselves into? How much aluminum can we make with this stuff? So of course, we have to use a refinery, and then we have an alternate recipe, I'm certain, that works with this. So there's alumina solution, 120 bauxite to 120 alumina, plus you get silica. That's pretty good. But there's also the sloppy alumina, where you don't get the silica, but you get a little bit more out of your bauxite, so we're probably gonna do that. Bauxite is a little bit more rare than the silica stuff. So then that gets us the alumina solution. From there, pretty sure we refine it again. And we turn that solution into aluminum scrap. So a little bit of coal, a little bit of solution, get a bucket of scrap. Alternate recipe, petroleum coke. Oh, that's kind of cool. If we had this closer to the oil setup down there, I might have used that, but I don't think so. We're just gonna go with this one, because coal is in the red forest over there. From the scrap though, this scrap just turns into the ingots? Yeah. So there's the pure ingot, 60 scrap to 30 ingots. So you lose about half of it. Or in the foundry, you can use silica and you get a better ratio of scrap to aluminum ingots, but I don't want to use silica, dude. No, we're not gonna do that. So this is kind of like the main setup then. We'll get to this, and from aluminum, it's pretty straightforward. We go from aluminum casings, which is a little bit of aluminum ingots and copper ingots. This is an alternate, by the way. The original is just straight up aluminum, right? Sorry, I'm just checking on all this stuff because I forgot. Yeah, this is the original 90 to 60 casings, but this one, with a little bit of copper, is, again, just a better ratio. That's a lot of copper, though. We're still gonna use this. It's really good. Finally, though, heat sinks. We get the casings, and then we combine those stupid little casings with rubber. And then we get heat sinks. And of course, our rubber is just already set up right over there. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Need about 200 heat sinks. Well, 187.5 of them. I'm sure we can make this all work. It's gonna be a little complicated. And oh boy, ran the numbers for what we need for this project, and okay, we're gonna need more bauxite. Essentially, if we're trying to make 187.5 heat sinks, that means we're gonna need 562.5 casings. And if we need 562 casings, that means we need freaking 750 aluminum ingots per minute. That means we also have to have 1,500 scrap. And if we need 1,500 scrap, we need 1,000 alumina solution. Oh boy. Oh, and then bauxite. If we need 1,000 alumina solution, that means 1,000 divided by 240 is 4.2 refineries here. 4.2 times 200, well, we already know that's gonna be higher than 780. It's 200. 840. But the miner we have here is only gonna be able to have 780 bauxite per minute. So we have to bring another 60 bauxite from the red forest over here. Oh, and I guess also we need to grab some copper and we need to grab some coal. The rubber, I'm sure we're fine. Yeah, we're only worried about the aluminum. We'll figure out the rest later because it shouldn't be a problem at all. Hi, Future Kibitz here. This was a problem, a very big problem. This turns into an absolute nightmare. Enjoy the rest of the video. What's really gonna be a struggle is getting our train track and infrastructure through the red forest here. There are nuclear rocks all over the place, enemies galore, and there's just a lot of foliage. It's a busy area. Let's just focus on our goal right now. Let's get some bauxite. I know it's around here, just don't know where. There we go, 240 meters. It's pretty close. So we can bring some belts over here, up on this ridge, and I'm sure the bauxite is right there. Ah yeah, there it is. That's not very far at all. Oh, hello friends. What's up? Oh, 2 friends? Okay. I am going to hide behind this. Don't worry about me. Not scared. There's 4 of them! Why? Let's just go, actually. We're not fighting. We did enough fighting today. Goodbye. So next bauxite node. No, there's this one here, and then the rest are way further over that way. Perfect. Is this a pure node? I didn't even check the other one. This is a normal node. I'm sure the other one's a pure bauxite node. Okay, we'll just belt this over to the factory now. And all things considered, it wasn't even too bad. So both these bauxite nodes have been hooked up. We brought the belts to this kind of industrial tower. I'll probably decorate it a little bit more later on, but we're probably gonna bring in more resources. For now though, does its job, brings the stuff down here over this way and to our factory, which is fantastic. Wait, give me a launch. Whatcha! There we go. Even better is I started decorating a little bit just to start to get the vibe of this, because we're gonna see this place a lot from both the nuclear power plant and from over there. So I want this to look pretty good. Check this out. Got that beam in between here, so we can have a crossing on this side. We're gonna have some pillars over here, and we have a little entrance into the factory with a custom little doorway. But now it's time for the hard part. You may have noticed that some of these recipes require water. Do you notice a problem here? The water is all the way down there. So we're gonna have to do some spooky stuff. We're going down into the pit. We're gonna grab the sippy drink from down there. You know, alternatively though, we could get the water from that waterfall over there, but we have to get the rubber from over there anyway. Have to find some copper around, and I'm sure this infrastructure will come in a lot handier in the future. Okay, vertical, and down you go. This is not the best way about this, is this? No, it's not. Oh no. Should have thought this through. Go. Can I land on this? Yes. Quickly, putter over, please. If we can build the little tower, then we can build the ladder on the side, and then this will be okay. So we are good. Only thing that's really interesting about setting up these water things is how to set up pumps with update 5. Or I don't know if this happened in update 5, but there's an amazingly easy way to set up pumps if you didn't know. I'll quickly just show you. So setting up the water extractors, simple enough. But with the pumps, what you can do is you can put a wall down, then you can put down the pump on the side of the wall. Don't need to have to deal with all the pipes first, you can just set these up. Then the only issue with building these is setting up the spacing correctly, which is also kind of straightforward nowadays, because the pumps will tell you how far they can actually pump to. Just connect that first, and then there should be like a little, yeah, that ring there. Yeah, that ring is what guides you. So if we have this all the way down here, it's looking like the pump will reach to that next one. And although this might not be perfectly set up, the main thing is just to get the job done quickly, because I want to work on processing. Now with both the water and the bauxite, we should be able to get going. Since we already have the numbers down, the setup should be pretty straightforward. The thing I really want to consider is design. With the refineries, a cool part of them is they have that giant smokestack, right? So I like to have the smokestack like facing outside, I think we did this at the nuclear power plant, but we just have it facing this way. Then we can build a wall that cuts through it, and we can have the smokestack just outside the factory, which obviously makes sense because you don't want to breathe in what the smokestack's putting out. Yeah, got like the pipes going into the building. You got like this system out here doing a thing. Anyway, though, we need a couple of these machines here. This one's gonna have 600, so I guess we only need 2 of these. And then we'll have the 1,000 alumina we need. Can we just enter the number in the bottom? Pretty sure. Do that, this, number 400, perfect. And then for the scrap, we'll have them right beside. And it would be easier just to have the inputs going here, the alumina output goes this way, and then we have the input here, but then it's the same thing with the refinery's little smokestack. So we're gonna overcomplicate it, and we're gonna turn this bad boy around. And then we needed 1,500 scrap. How many can we make out of one machine? 900, well that's actually a lie, because we only have 780 belts. So 780, oh gosh, no, I'm overcomplicating this, 1 second. Sometimes instead of using math, logic is what you want. So we need 1,500. This was 750. 750 divided by 2 is 375. And we're just gonna go about things this way. And then the piping logic is gonna be about the same. So first, since we're gonna be dealing with alumina, let's make this our pipe swatch so we don't have to paint like everything. We'll start putting things down. This is gonna be a 600 pipe, and then we're gonna use the same kind of logic here in order to balance out the materials properly. The 600 pipe will kind of go in first, and this first machine is overclocked the most, right? So it's gonna use a lot of the solution. So all we have to do is we need to put a valve down so nothing backflows. Then we get the next pipe with 400 can just go into here now, and it won't backflow through here. So this should just fill up this machine and the next machine. There shouldn't be a problem. In fact, there can't be a problem. This machine takes up 240 alumina solution per minute. And that's a 600 pipe, and the other pipe's 400. So this pipe will never have more than 200 solution, right? No. In fact, wait, we can just limit this to 400. Yeah, now it will never go over 400, meaning this pipe will always work, everything's fine. You just always want to be careful you don't overload the pipes or the belts. And it's also a really good idea to actually look at the recipe that you're using. Because look, we're not just making scrap. Water is also a byproduct. And if we don't get the water out of the system, everything stops. Fortunately, there's a lot of ways to get rid of water out of like any kind of system. Probably the easiest way is actually setting up another refinery and then using the wet concrete recipe. So limestone all over the map, and this recipe uses a ton of water. So 100 water, 120 limestone makes the concrete. And then you just dump the concrete into an awesome sink. GG. Anyway, we don't have to worry about either of those things because we can actually reroute the water back to the alumina system, because this needs water. And after running the numbers, it turns out we only need 233 water per minute actually entering this factory to make it run. So this was kind of a waste of time. Whoopsies. But maybe it'll come in handy later. Anyway, we can do all of this super simply. We'll just throw on another valve. Say that this can only bring in, no, it has to be exactly that. 233, get rid of that. Splitter, and have you go to there. I didn't change the swatch, what's wrong with me? It's fine. And out of these 3 machines, I forgot the numbers, what's this gonna be again? Okay, long story short, it's gonna be 600 water coming out of all 3 machines. So 1 600 pipe, and we will split that between both of these in this beautifully organized system, just with a couple valves. Now let's pretend that that's all working properly, okay? And we now have the scrap. 1,500 scrap per minute, eh? And we are going to throw that into smelters? That's not gonna work out well, is it? Well, forgetting about overclocks for a moment, 60 scrap per machine here. So 1,500 divided by totally forgot. 60? Okay, it's 25 smelters. And once we overclock those 25 smelters, we can divide that number by 2.5. Means we need 10 smelters for all of this if we are fully overclocking. And I have a great idea as well. I did a little bit of math and a little bit more planning for the decorations. And those pillars out front kind of are holding up this extra floor. What we can do is get rid of that belt. And similar to the refineries, we can have these guys kind of cutting through the wall here, making like smoke and detail outside. No, I'm certain we can fit 2 here, right? Certain. Come on. There we go. So now when we come in via a train, there's gonna be like smoke going, there's gonna be items moving and grooving. Of course, that's gonna kind of ruin our spacing here. That's okay. Like, we're gonna have to have these down here, properly placed. But we're also gonna wanna have items entering the train stations, but we have this entrance up here. Stop, please. There we go. Up here, where all the items can enter through. And this can all be belts down here. A little annoying, probably will come back to bite me, but it'll work. Plus, after I got all the belts in, it was really easy to load balance as well. I don't know why, just happened to be like that. And we have a little bit of extra bauxite that we can ship out. So we'll figure that stuff out a little later though. Piping is all good though, belts are all good. Upstairs, actually looking normal now. Well, a little normal. And now it's time for the next stage. We're done with aluminum ingots. They're all gonna be pooping out there, probably end up over there. We have 750 of them per minute. So we want to actually do stuff with them, and we want to make the casings. The casings, though, need copper, at least with the recipe we're using. So we need a lot of copper. We'll need 5 of these assemblers, so 5 times 75 is a big number. 75, 375. Yeah, that's a decent amount of copper. How are we gonna get that copper? Well, we're gonna use refineries even more and use the pure copper ingot recipe. So we have 5 refineries over here now just to fill out the space, but I had a bit of trouble finding a copper node, and the only one I could find was over at the nuclear power plant. So I scooted the copper all the way down this way, over the water, and then up this tower, which has become extremely, extremely useful at this point. All that aside, it's now time for the casings. We just need a couple assemblers, and then we need a couple more assemblers for the heat sinks as well. So pretty much this floor is all gonna be assemblers. And there's this really cool design you can do with these nowadays. I have a Patreon, and through it you can get to a Discord of mine. And in the Discord, a fan posted a really cool setup for assemblers. What you do is you have the outputs just kind of scoot right in behind the machines. So you just set it up like that, and you get that out of Dodge, right? Then you get poles here, stack like 3 poles up like that. Then you bring those belts over to the other side. And we can do this now because of soft clearance. Finally, you put the splitters up here, and you can have these just go straight down. And this item comes out this way. So it's a way, 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 way more compact design. Looks really cool as well. And I'm gonna leave this front end open to just the elements so we can see all the compact machinery going about its thing. And once you get like this whole floor filled, this is gonna look crazy. Oh man. So this little section here, this is for the casings, and then these other machines down this row are for the heat sinks. So everything's looking great, and we are pretty much done. Or so I'd thought. Remember back in the day, back earlier in this video, where I thought all the other things were gonna be fine, aside from aluminum? I was wrong. I was super wrong. Omega wrong! We don't have enough rubber. Not even close. Because I was thinking we're making 600 polymer resin per minute here just as a byproduct of our power plant. And I was like, yeah, for sure. We're gonna be able to make enough rubber out of that resin, right? Wrong. No matter how I crunch the numbers, the most rubber per minute we can get out of this is 400 rubber per minute. and we need 750 per minute to make the system work. And our main rubber supply depot is all the way over here. So, what do we do? What do we do? We kind of have two options. Number one is we make like another mini rubber plant somewhere closer. Unfortunately, that might actually be an option and be what we do. Because as I was kind of running around gathering resources, like I got the coal node, another bauxite node, all that jazz from the Red Forest, I stumbled across our old base, or our old base location. So over here, next to like the Blue Crater Lake area, or actually I don't know what this area is called. This area here, I was gonna build our main base at this location, because it looks nice, right? What a pretty view. And next to it, they've added in an oil well. And there's enough oil here to absolutely make 750 rubber per minute. In fact, we could probably make like 4,000 rubber per minute if we set this up properly. So, you know, we could just set this whole thing up, make this a new oil base, and send everything over to the heat sink production. Or we can get that rubber train started from our factory we've already built. But then we might run into throughput issues. And who knows what other kinds of problems, considering we have our nuclear chew going down this line as well. So to be honest, I'm not quite sure where we go from here. And I'm thinking we just save this problem for next time. Because then once we get all the heat sinks up and running, we can go over to our nuclear power plant, activate the meltdown procedures, and finally get rid of all the nuclear waste. However, that's gonna be all for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed and thank you for watching, but have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.